Hey, Cancer, I'm David, and welcome to my channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into your reading. I hope all of you are doing well out there. So, starting off, you showing up as the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. What is some potential challenges? We have the Hermit card in reverse. What is just what should you be focusing on right now? Of the Temperance verse. What was going on in the recent past? We have the Page of Wands in reverse. What is your strength? Have the Wheel of Fortune. What's going on in the near future? Wands. What's the suggested approach? Have the Fool in reverse. What else does Cancer need to know? Have the Devil card. Hopes and fear. Hope or fear. Four of Pentacles in reverse. What is the potential future? We have the Moon in reverse. Okay, Cancer. Let's see what's happening here in this read. So, Cancer, you're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Financial independence, self-care, work, home, self-care, work, home conflict, self-centered, jealousy, smothering. Then crossing that is the Hermit card in reverse. Isolation, loneliness, withdrawal, distance, loss, your way. Mm. So, Cancer, I mean, the way this comes to me, honestly, and no offense to anyone, but I feel like you're showing up as someone that is like very on top of your stuff, like on top of your game. Like you might be very strongly independent, and like either you make people know or you show how well off, where you kind of come off as like uh not like a snob, but like someone that kind of in a awkward way, like find your own way to belittle people. And at least for some of you, it like maybe you recently came into a lot of money or a new position where you become extremely wealthy, or you just already earn a decent living or have your things in order, where you just seem like very, or maybe just the way you come off, maybe you just, some people just can't take your like confidence and like how self-assured you are, and like you let it be known. The Temperance in reverse came out as your suggested approach. I mean, what you should be focusing on, sorry. um Imbalance, excess, extreme, overindulgence, alcoholism, addiction, self healing, and realignment. So, I again, like that, it still makes me feel like you just come off. I don't want to. I'm trying to avoid using the word cocky, but I feel like you just come off as a little bit arrogant. At least whoever ever this is, and it feel like the with the Temperance in reverse is like suggesting like maybe you should try to find a way to either just not try to rub people the wrong way if you care, but I feel like that's just something that's just is being suggested here for at least if you want to try to find a way to um make people not feel so you know in a feelings about how you come off. Maybe it's just a suggested idea. Um again, like you all have the freedom to make and decide how you want to live and carry throughout life. So but let's go ahead and continue. Then we have the Page of Wands in reverse coming out as your recent past. Lack of direction, procrastination, creating conflicts, self limiting beliefs, spiritual path, newly formed idea. And I feel like with this, just the only thing that I feel like makes I get from this is just it's something that, mm, how can I say this? It's not that you um it's not that you intentionally try to, I guess, have, have or make people feel a certain way. It's just something that you're kind of used to. Maybe this is just something like you always dress well, or you always like took very well care of yourself, where you just have this history of like kind of having people in your mind like have something to say about you, and you in a sense like always have some type of like I guess tension with like haters and what you might think of, in a certain sense, like people always have something to say, has something negative to say about how you carried yourself, and maybe you only also besides carrying yourself, you was on top of your stuff. So you just, maybe you was someone that was very smart in school, always like, manage your own finances well and look good, where you just always attract attention from people that supported you, but more so also haters too. And you just like used to that type of tension. So you kind of like in a sense, you kind of like built up like this, I don't want to like shell of like not really caring. And it's just because you just learn in your mind, like, I'm not gonna allow other people's thoughts, or their feelings affect how I'm gonna, live my life. Moving forward, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out as your strength, good luck, karma, life cycles, the turning point. Yeah, I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, like you just know that when you, at least how I'm taking it as like, if you wanted to change, you have the power or the control and the freedom to change. So you kind of like in control of how you carry yourself, or maybe this is also like a recognition, like some of you don't actually, um at least some of you might not be aware like how some people might feel about how you carry yourself or how you make them feel. But also like I feel like some of you, if you wanted to, you can, some of you do know, like, how some people feel about how you carry yourself. But then some of you are unaware, but both of you, I guess in both categories, you know that if you wanted to change, you fully are capable of doing it. But the choice is gonna be up to you, which I definitely understand. Moving on to the Nine of Wands in your near future. Courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, last stand, gearing up for worse. Hmm. Yeah, I feel like with the Ten of Wands, it could kind of go like both ways, where um some of you gonna, some of you might consider like try to do things a little bit differently, or try to be more self-aware of like how people might be offended about some of the things you do or say in some cases. But also I feel like with the Ten of Wands, some of you just gonna decide ultimately like I'm not gonna make any changes to how I carry myself or how I am. It's just gonna be up to the right person to just understand me, and which I also understand. Moving on to your suggested approach, we have the Fool card coming out in reverse, holding back, indecisions, hesitation, recklessness, fearlessness, bad choices, risk taking. Mm, I feel like with the Fool card, Cancer, I, I, f- I feel like it is in a weird sense. Okay, I feel like in a weird sense for some of you, maybe is this is just a suggestion for or a suggestion for you to ask like why do you feel like you might need to do X, Y, and Z? Like maybe if you are a Cancer who always like went outside like looking your best and like you never had like a off day or you never went out, I guess you never went outside without like being fully like dressed up like you're, looking your best. Maybe this is a suggestion to for you to try to understand why you feel you have the or you need to go outside like that or why you must, you know, I guess maintain this high standard. Like is it just for personal desires or are you just being motivated from like what others might feel or think about you, and that's what's just have you carry yourself to this high regard, and maybe just take the risk of just um challenging yourself, like not to care as much. And then we have the Devil card coming out as what else you need to know. Shadow self, attachment, addictions, restrictions, sexuality, temptation, seduction, destructive behavior, codependency, toxicity. Yeah, I feel like in this case the devil card I feel like is confirming the Fool card in reverse, where it's like it's I feel like it's really trying to encourage you to like look within to figure out like if some of the or to challenge yourself. Like challenge yourself to see if some of the things that you do or how you carry yourself, if it's like solely for like your own personal like desire or like what you enjoy doing or get joy out of, or are you just like doing certain things to like maintain a certain perception of you. Then moving on, we have the Four of Pentacles coming out as your hope or fear, greediness, possessiveness, stinginess, overspending, self protection. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of. I definitely feel like, I mean, in this sense, it definitely makes sense of like if you are maintaining this this certain standard, like maybe you only dress in like the top line brands or something. I feel like with the Four of Pentacles in reverse, is like trying to maintain that is gonna cost you a lot of money. It's gonna lead. It's not gonna get better, and you kind of like maybe if you're not like a well off person, this could be like a red flag. Like this standard that you're setting up for yourself is gonna be difficult for you to maintain, especially if you like doing it on like very small, uh, on a very small cash flow. So just keep that in mind. Then in your near future or potential future, sorry, we have the Moon card in reverse. Release of fear, repressing emotions, inner confusion, misinterpretation, darkness, insecurities. Yeah, Man, this is it makes sense. It makes sense in a this. I mean, yeah, I think this is just overall like you. It's suggesting like you look whoever this is like even though you're confident and you come off as a very confident, a little bit arrogant person. You know, like I said, you might look good, carry yourself pretty well, um, very confident. But the your like this impression or this this image that you created for yourself is it has been rubbing some people the wrong way, but it's I feel like this reading overall towards the end is challenging you to try to pinpoint and identify if you're doing this for just your own personal reason or just if there's like a deeper darker I guess issue that's going on that you really need to like sit with and like heal through because the standard that you're setting for yourself is gonna be very expensive and it doesn't seem like it's gonna get better. I feel like the if you continue the insecurity is not gonna go away. But I feel like with the moon card in reverse, it could just it's like the polar opposite of two decisions. Like some of you, if you like get like if you really like do the self care, self work, you're really gonna understand. Okay, yeah, I'm doing this for myself, and that's gonna be cool. You gonna accept it and keep it pushing. But some of you might just identify like, you know what, I'm gonna let this go, and it's gonna I feel like it's gonna allow you to release whatever fear or worry or thought or peer pressure that you feeling, and it's gonna make you feel a lot lighter. But yeah, this is the reading I picked up for you guys. Let me know. I know that this one was a very strange one, I must admit. But if it resonate, please let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Besides that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your month.